Think about a classic mechanical watch. You know, the appeal isn't really that it tells time with absolute precision.
Right, yeah.
It's the physical heartbeat of it, the intricate gears, the tactile feedback on your wrist. If you rip out those gears and stick a digital screen in there that just ticks through a tiny speaker, it loses something fundamental.
Oh, absolutely. You've essentially surgically removed the soul and replaced it with a simulation.
Exactly. Which perfectly frames the mission of today's deep dive. We're looking at a recent video showcase from Supercar Blondie detailing the fully electric Lexus LFA concept. And our goal here is to unpack this massive engineering challenge. How does an automaker translate the raw mechanical soul of a legendary combustion supercar into a high-tech EV?
Well, to appreciate the scale of that challenge, we really need to look at the heavy legacy of the original 2010 to 2012 LFA. I mean, this wasn't just a car. It was a halo project.
Yeah.
Lexus only produced 500 units worldwide. They originally retailed for just under $400,000, but there's such coveted collector's items now that values have easily quadrupled. One actually recently sold for $1.8 million.
Oh, wow. That is insane. And a huge chunk of that valuation, and really the car's entire identity, was its engine.
A V10.
Right. It housed a roaring V10 that famously produced this gorgeous, screaming Formula One sound. So looking at this fully electric concept, I have to be somewhat skeptical.
Sure.
Transitioning this specific car to battery power feels like taking a gritty, classic practical effects movie and rebooting it entirely in CGI. I mean, does stripping out that V10 completely kill the supercar's soul?
So that is the exact problem Lexus anticipated, and their workaround is fascinating. They recognize that the visceral feel of combustion is a core part of the product, so they didn't just lazily pump synthetic engine noise through the cabin speakers.
Okay.
They actually physically recreated the vibrations.
Wait, putting vibrating motors in a seat sounds a bit like a cheap arcade game gimmick.
Yeah.
How does that actually fool the human brain into thinking it's driving a mechanical beast?
Well, because it's not a simple rumble pack, they're using high-fidelity haptic actuators engineered directly into the seat, the steering wheel, and the pedals.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the software maps these actuators perfectly to the torque curve and power delivery of the electric motors. So when you accelerate, the car physically shudders and provides tactile feedback that mimics a massive V10.
That's wild.
They are physically tricking your central nervous system into feeling a mechanical rumble that isn't actually there. But, you know, if you don't want that aggressive track day feel, you can bypass it entirely.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the driver can swap to a smooth jazz mode, which is paired with hidden ambient LED lighting to create this completely relaxed cabin vibe.
Huh. That sensory illusion approach inside the cabin makes me wonder about the exterior engineering. Because without a massive engine block up front or an exhaust system running underneath, the fundamental physics of the car's shape have to change.
They do, yeah.
How are they managing airflow and EV requirements without losing the original LFA aesthetic?
Well, that's where the chief designer's exterior choices balance homage with intense aerodynamic function. Take the rear of the car, for example. The original base model had 3 iconic exhaust pipes in a distinct triangle shape.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
The new concept mimics this by molding distinct rear triangle shapes right into the bodywork.
Oh, I get it. So they're keeping the ghost of the exhaust alive visually.
Exactly. But they're aggressively embracing EV aerodynamics elsewhere. Like traditional mirrors create drag, so they're gone, replaced by low-profile cameras.
Yeah.
You also have functional side splitters, and these aren't just for show. They're engineered to channel high-speed air down to cool the battery pack, which sits incredibly low in the chassis for optimal weight distribution. Finally, there's an active rear spoiler. At high speeds, it deploys upward to generate downforce and mechanical grip. And when you don't need it, it drops flush with the body to reduce drag and maximize battery range.
Wow. The functional aero is impressive, but the interior styling is actually what caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
The cabin is aggressively two-tone. Like the passenger side is completely blacked out, almost engineered to disappear into the shadows, while the driver's side is encased entirely in bright white.
Yeah, it's striking.
It feels like a very selfish sci-fi escape pod. Why is modern luxury suddenly moving toward isolating the driver from the person sitting literally 2 feet to their right?
So the designers stated their primary goal was an immersive experience. By blacking out that passenger space, they intentionally force a hyperfocus on the driver's immediate space, creating this visual bubble that centers entirely on the act of driving.
But this internal isolation directly contrasts with their external tech. I mean, the wildest feature in this showcase is that the car houses a built-in drone. And launching a drone from your car implies this EV is designed for highly connected, high-performance track days, not just isolated luxury cruising.
Right, the drone functions as an active aerial wingman. It launches to scan the apexes and curves of the road ahead, feeding data back as a rally co-pilot.
That is so cool.
But beyond just acting as a scout for track conditions, it can automatically record your high-speed runs and live stream them directly to the internet.
Okay, so when you look at this whole package, the integrated drone, the cameras, the simulated V10 haptics, it really changes how we need to think about the future of cars.
It does.
We aren't just buying transportation anymore, we're buying a rolling digital content studio. You're just driving, you're producing a broadcast.
Which brings up a profound implication about where high-end automotive culture is actually heading.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at a vehicle that live streams your physical route to the world while simultaneously manufacturing the physical validation of a mechanical engine that literally doesn't exist.
Right. It leaves you wondering, if tomorrow's EVs can perfectly simulate the sound, the shake, and the rumble of extinct gas engines, will driving eventually just become a high-end virtual reality experience? Like, maybe the car of the future is merely a rolling shell for digital nostalgia.